Hey, Olive, Arlo, and Frank. Raspy voice Grandpa coming to you from the living room in Jack's Beach. And today I want to talk about last chances. You know, every once in a while you do something in your life and it's turning out wrong. And you say, oh, I wish I could have one last chance. Well, I've been blessed in my life. I started thinking about the last chances that I had. And I thought of 5 of them that were major. So let's talk about them. The first one was my teeth. I never had the best oral hygiene, and I didn't have the best genetics. My mom had teeth that were falling out, and by the time I was born, when she was in her 30s, she had false teeth. I remember her like taking out her teeth. It was pretty freaky. My dad had good teeth. He still had just his regular teeth when he died at 84 years old. But I didn't take real good care of them. And then I got throat cancer. And without going into all the details, one of the side effects of surviving throat cancer is your teeth start to fall out of your head. So I was given a set of instructions on how to take care of them and how to make them last as long as possible. And I didn't do that as often as I should. And then I started getting these veneers put on there. And that worked for a while, but then it started to get bad. And it was very costly, but maybe about 2 years ago, I started getting teeth. None of them are mine. Underneath, some of them are still mine. But it was fortunate. Grandmother and I could come up with the money. But it was a lot of money, and it made me think, well, where do we go from here? I mean, if I don't take care of these teeth like I should, then they're going to fall out. What happens when these brand new teeth start falling out? I don't want that. I don't want to be gone to the dentist. I don't want to have stuff drilled anymore. I don't want to have new teeth put in. So I've been very good about taking care of my teeth. The second thing is my eyes. Now, my dad wore glasses, and my mom wore glasses, but my mom had cataracts done. She wore these like real thick glasses. She had her cataracts removed, but she didn't have the little new lenses put in. It was, back in the 1960s when this got done. So, but I lived out in the sun. I mean, ever since I got my first surfboard at 11, I spent my summers in Stone Harbor. I was out in the sun all day. I got jobs outside. Even now, I'm outside a couple hours a day. I rode my bike for like an hour and a half this morning. I hope these landscapers that just got next door don't drown me out too bad. I just spend a lot of time out there, and it gives you cataracts. So I never wore sunglasses, or hardly ever wore sunglasses. I only wore them when I wanted to look cool. It's hard for me to look cool, so I didn't wear them much. But then I had both eyes done. I had the cataract surgery, And there's a protocol that I go through every day to keep my eyes healthy. I was given one last chance with my eyes, just like with my teeth. And so I take that very seriously, and maybe 3 times a week I wash my eyelids with baby shampoo, and I put this hot compress on there, plug it into the side of my computer, and let it run for a half an hour, 2-3 times a week, because that helps you to clear out the little sweat glands, whatever they are in there, and moisturize your eyes and help you to see better. I'm taking vitamins. I forget what they're called, AREDS too, I think. And I go to 2 different eye surgeons. I go to my doctor, but I also go to this retina specialist because there might be something else going on in one of my eyes at least. And so we had to keep up with that. So I've been very, very proactive with that. The third thing was my Achilles tendons. In 2019, I was riding the bike with your dad, Arlo, and a couple of my coworkers from the IRS. This guy in an SUV ran over my left foot. And by ran over my left foot, I mean he physically, one of the tires came to rest on top of the arch of my left foot. So just above the arch, not on the toe, not on the ankle, but right above the arch, came to rest, like, and he was there for a second or two. And I've had problems with that leg since then. I went through physical therapy after that. Then when I got here to Jacksonville Beach, that was down in Miami. When I got here to Jacksonville Beach, I got a torn Achilles tendon in my right leg. Probably one of those things where you run a different way to protect the bad leg, the left leg. So you strain things in the right leg. So I've had 2 torn Achilles, and the first one, and I never stretched enough when I was a runner. I ran 46 marathons in my life. I probably will never run in a marathon. Probably won't run anything above a 5K if I even do one of them. That's just 3.1 miles. Marathon's 26.2. But I didn't stretch enough. I hardly stretched at all. And so I didn't do the stretching and the strength exercises that I needed to do for the first time that I tore the right Achilles tendon. And so when I tore it again, your grandmother said, I want you to promise that if you tear it a 3rd time, if at the end of this you want to try to run, that's fine. You know, but you're in your 70s now, and you have to be careful with how you abuse your body. So if you want to run, it's okay. But if it happens again, I want you to promise that you will stop running. And I made that promise. So the first time that I went through all the physical therapy and everything, I didn't take it seriously, but I got one last chance. And sometimes that's how that one last chance plays out, where you go like, oh, I didn't believe either of these physical therapists that I needed to do my stretching exercises and strengthening exercises. But I believe my wife. Not that she's telling me to do those exercises, but she's telling me, if you're not successful, I want you to quit. And I love running. I have for a long time. Skin cancer. my whole life out in the sun, same as the cataracts, not wearing a hat. Now, grandmother makes me wear a hat all the time. Every time you see me, if I'm outside, I have a hat on. But I didn't always do that. And I never, ever put sunscreen on. So now I go to the doctor every 6 months. She takes divots out of my head, usually my head. Sometimes on my neck I'll have something. Or I haven't had anything anywhere else that had to be removed so far, knock on wood. And I now put head protection on. I still don't use sunscreen. I'm not a big believer in it. But I make sure that my head is always protected. So I would always wear a hat if I was out running, out taking a walk, you know, just going out someplace with your grandmother in the car. I'd have a hat on it and all. But what I found is when I rode, I'd have my helmet on, and it has these grooves that are open, and I was getting sunburn there. And I'm sure if you check out where they took the divots, it's along the lines that the sun would make if it went down in those. So now I wear one of those bicycle hats. I put it on backwards, and then I put the helmet on, and that protects that area. When I go out surf fishing, I wear this giant hat, and I wear the same if I go stand-up paddle boarding or boogie boarding. I wear a long rash guard. If I'm surf fishing, I have a long, usually a rash guard or you know, a surf fishing shirt, whatever you want to call it. So I take that very seriously. And then the last is campers. We lived in a camper for a while, and we sold it, and I said to grandmother, I want to keep X amount of dollars, buy myself a personal camper that I can go on adventures and stuff like that. So I had a Volkswagen Vanagon, I had 2 of them. I lost thousands of dollars. I just was pouring money into them. They were cool. Kids would come up, gas station, and go like, oh, I love your van. But they wouldn't love trying to pay to keep them on the road. And I finally sold the last one and bought a Honda Element, which is tiny. It's hard to camp in. It converts to a camper, but it's hard, it's challenging, but it runs. So this coming month, Olive, I'm coming out to see you, and your parents and I are going to the Eagles game. They're playing the Saints in New Orleans. And you will be home with your grandmother, hanging out, making her day. Grandmother and I will get in that car and drive out there, and it won't be a big deal. Now, the 2 of us can't camp in it, but we'll just drive directly there, or we'll stay in an Airbnb halfway there. We'll work something out. But when I go in October up to Washington, D.C. to see Romeo and Juliet at the Folger, I'm not going to be like spending all that money on an airplane or hotels and stuff like that. It'll take me 4 days to get up and back. So I'll be gone for a total of 5 days. And I'm staying at these Harvest Host places, which don't cost anything. You'll spend a little money there, but you know, you're going to spend money while you're out on the road anyway. So I had a last chance, a second chance, one last chance. And you know, if this breaks down, the Element, I can just go to a mechanic. Anybody can work on it. But that Vanagon was an air-cooled Volkswagen. It took weeks just to get somebody to look at it. So if I broke down in Mississippi, well, I'm SOL. I'm going to spend thousands of dollars to have that thing towed back home. And then I'll wait for 2 or 3 weeks for the place around the corner to be able to see it. So, anyway, why am I telling you this? The choices that I've made over my life have sometimes, quite often, cost me money, cost me my health issues, physical pain, surgeries, relationship issues, and other things that I can't even think of right now. So I understand now what I would do if given one last chance, because I've had 5 of them in my life. And you can do what I did and go through a whole bunch of things and learn, by doing and falling on your butt and getting back up again. Or you can decide to not be like your grandpa and don't need one last chance. Take care of your eyes, take care of your teeth, take care of your skin. Don't buy exotic cars. Buy dependable transportation. If you're a runner, and I hope that you guys all run, it's a great way to burn off energy and fat and mellow your mind out. So stretch before and after. It was hard for me to tie my shoes. I would run a marathon and I couldn't tie my shoes for the next month and a half because I wasn't stretching enough. And and that takes forming good habits. So don't be dopey like your grandpa and form good habits. Peace out.